Come on. This is one. Great. Yeah. That's right. Shabbat Shalom, Jerry. What's going on? If there's anybody vaccinated, it's me. Ready? Oh, see. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's good to see you back. Eventually, we're going to open up more space, and hopefully next week we'll have a little Onyx Shabbat after services. So, yeah, slowly. Let us please turn to page 10. We're going to begin with the brachot. With Yedid Nefesh. Today it's Friday night and Saturday morning. It's great to see you. Yedid Nefesh Rachaman Meshochadach Eretz Sonach Meshochadach Eretz Sonach Yarutz Avdach Kemo Hayal Yishtachave Lai Lai La 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 Lai Lai Mul Hadara Ki Erav Lo Yedidutach Min Nofet Suf Lai Lai La La Lai 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 Becholtach.
We continue on page 11, Lechu Neranena.
Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena Adonai. Naria, letsuri sheinu, nikam navanav betoda. Naria, letsuri sheinu, bismiro naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena Adonai. Bottom of page 12.
Arba'im shenakut bedor, va'omaram tohe levavhem, vehem lo yedu derachai, asher nishbati ve'api, im yavon el menuchati. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai baruch shemo, bazru meyom leyom yeshuato.
עובד לפניו,
We continue on page 14, Yismechu Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim.
ישמחו השמיים,
Yismechu Hashamayim.
ישמחו השמיים,
Yismechu Hashamayim.
ותגל הארץ.
ישמחו השמיים,
ישמחו השמיים,
ישמחו השמיים,
ישמחו השמיים,
ישמחו השמיים,
ותגל הארץ.
ירם הים,
ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו, ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו.
ישמחו השמיים,
ישמחו השמיים,
ישמחו השמיים,
ישמחו השמיים,
ישמחו השמיים,
ותגל הארץ.
ירם הים,
ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו, ירם הים, ירם הים, ירם הים ומלואו. Let us turn now to page 18, Zamru Ladonai. Third line from the top in Hebrew, second in the phonetics.
זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור בקול זמרה, בחצוצרות בקול שופר.
הריעו לפני המלך אדוני.
זמרו לאדוני בכינור, בכינור בקול זמרה, בחצוצרות בקול שופר.
הריעו לפני המלך אדוני.
ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושביבה, נהרות עמך וכף יחד הרירננו לפני אדוני כי בא לשפוט הארץ, ישפוט תבל בצדק ועמים במישרים. ירם הים ומלואו, תבל ויושביבה, נהרות עמך וכף יחד הרים ירננו.
We continue on page 20, Romemu.
Nai, 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 yai, dai, 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 nai, 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 yai, dai, 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 yai, dai, 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 nai, 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 nai. Romemu,
אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו בהר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו בהר קודשו. כי
קדוש
אדוני אלוהינו רוממו.
כי קדוש
אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו.
כי קדוש
אדוני אלוהינו רוממו.
כי קדוש
אדוני אלוהינו רוממו.
כי קדוש
אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. Let us please rise. Mizmor LeDavid is on page 21.
מזמור לדוד Avul Adonai Kavod va'oz Ay 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 Avul Adonai Kevod shemo yishtachavu l'Adonai Yavad kodesh Kol Adonai Al hamayim el hakavod yirim Adonai Al mayim rabim Kol Adonai Ba'koach Ay 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 Kol Adonai Behadar Kol Adonai Shover arazim vayashaber Adonai Edon ze havanon vayakidem Kemo egel Levanon Besirion Kemo beremim Kemo beremim Ay 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 Kol Adonai Kotel HaHodesh Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh Kol Adonai Yechol Ayalot Vayechesov Yeharot Uvechalo Kulo Kulo Merkavod Ay 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 Adonai Lama Yashav Yeshev Adonai Melech Leolam Adonai Os Le'anoiten Adonai Yebarek et Amo Vashalom Nai 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 ay 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 nai 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 nai
Please be seated. We continue on page 22, Ana Bekoach.
Accept the prayers of your people. You who are revered, raise us up, cleanse us. Alone exalted, turn to your people who invoke your holiness. Ana Bekoach.
Ana bechoach, bechoach, gedulat yemincha, yemincha, tatit serura kaperinat amcha, sagvenu, tarenu, nora. Ana bechoach, bechoach, gedulat yemincha, yemincha, tatet serura kaberinat amcha, sagvenu tarenu nora. Ana bekoach gedulat yemincha, tatet serura, tatet serura, kaberinat amcha, rinat amcha, sagvenu tarenu nora. Nagibor dorshe yechudcha, kivavat shomrem, barchem taharem, rachamem sidkatecha, tamid komlem. Ana bekoach gedulat yemincha, tatit serura, tatit serura, kaberinat amcha, rinat amcha, sagvenu tarenu nora. Lai 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 lai
Page 23, Lecha Dodi.
Nai, 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad ishmi'anu el hamelech Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem u'tiferet v'heli tila lecha dodi l'ikra kala v'nei Shabbat nekavela l'ikrat Shabbat Nechuelcha ki mekor aberacha merosh mikedem nesucha sof maaseh b'machshava tchila lecha dodi l'ikra kala v'nei Shabbat nekavela mikdash melech עיר מלוכה ומציא, מתוך אפך רב לשבת בעמק הבכר, והוא יחמול עלי חמלה. לך דודי נקרא קלה פני שבת מקבלה, התנערי מעפר קומי לבשי בגדיה, תפארתך מעל יד בן ישי, והלך מקרבה אל נפשי, נפשי גאלה. לך דודי נקרא קלה פני שבת נקבלה, התעוררי כי באורך קומי אורי אורי אורי, שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי נקרא קלה פני שבת נקבלה, לא תבושי ולא תקעי מה תשתוכחי ואתם בה ככסו. אני עמי ונבנתה עיר על תילה, לך דודי נקרא קלה פני שבת נקבלה. והיו לשמשה שוסייך ורחקו כל מבלייך יסיס עלייך, אלוהיך כמסחוס חתן חתן על כלה. לך דודי נקרא קלה פני שבת נקבלה, ימין ושמאל תפרוצי בית אדוני, תריצי על יד איש בין פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה. לך דודי נקרא קלה פני שבת נקבלה, בואי ושלום התפלה גם בשמחה ובצולה תוך אמוניה, עם סגולה בואי חלה שבת מלכתה. לך דודי נקרא קלה פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי נקרא קלה פני שבת נקבלה.
Please be seated. We continue together on page 27, Mizmor Shir Layom HaShabbat.
מזמור השיר, מזמור השיר, מזמור השיר ליום השבת. מזמור השיר, מזמור השיר, מזמור השיר ליום השבת. טוב טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני
ולזמר לשמך עליון טוב, טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון טוב, טוב להודות לאדוני,
להגיד בבוקר עזך,
להגיד בבוקר עזך,
באמונתך בלילות, באמונתך בלילות, טוב להודות לאדוני, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, באמונתך בלילות, באמונתך בלילות, טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון טוב, טוב להודות לאדוני.
Let us turn to page 29, Adonai Malach.
Adonai malach geun lavesh, Adonai ozit azar, aftikon tevel batimod, aftikon tevel batimod, nahon kisacham meaz, me'olam נעשהו נהרות אדוני, נעשהו נהרות עולם, יישאו נהרות דום ים, מגולות מים רבים, אדירים משפרי ים, אדיר במרום אדוני, אדיר במרום אדוני, ערותיך נאמנו מאוד, לביתך נא בקודש, אדוני לאורך ימים, אדוני לאורך ימים, מגולות מים רבים, אדירים משפרי ים, אדיר במרום אדוני, אדיר במרום אדוני.
If you're able to do so, please rise as we turn to page 39b. We heed the call to worship the Baruch Hu.
Nai 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 ya da dai 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 ya da dai da 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 dai nai 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 ya da dai 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 ya da dai dai ya da dai Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'en. Yadadai, dai, 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 yadadai, dadadai. Dai, la 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 la, dai la 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 la, yada la 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 la, dai la la la. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila. Adonai Tzivaot Shemo, Adonai Tzivaot Shemo. Il Chai v'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Hamariv Haravi.
We continue praying Ahavat Olam, page 40.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Avta Torah u'mitzvot Ukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu B'shokmeinu uvkumeinu Nasiach bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגד יומם ולילה. באהבתך תסר ממנו לעולמים. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Shemo.
Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם נאות על ידיך, והיו לטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. ואם שמוע תשמעו אל מצוותיי אשר אני מצווה. וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען ירבו ימיכם בנגד. ביום אל משה לאמור דבר בני ישראל, ואמרת להם ישראל. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Adonai Elohechem emet.
We continue on page 44. Who is like you, Adonai? Mi chamocha.
Nai 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 nai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Mahutecha ra'u banecha, bokeh hayam libnei Moshe, Zelianu ve'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Nai 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 nai
Let us turn to page 45 for Ashkiveinu.
Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Vehamidenu Malkeinu Lechayim Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Vehamidenu Malkeinu Lechayim Ushmor Tzeiteinu Uvoenu Lechaim Shalom Me'ata ve'ad olam Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Shalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורס סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom ve'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim.
We sanctify Shabbat together with Vaishamru. Please rise and turn to page 46.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המוריד עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המוריד עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת,
לעשות את השבת
לדורות המוריד עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את
השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש,
שבת
וינפש.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
אמן.
ועמד דברה קירותי ועמליק מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Karive Meru. Amen. Yehishme Rabba Mevarach, Me'alam Ulal Me'al Maya.
Yitbarach,
Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yirmam, V'yitnaseya, V'yitadar, V'yitale, V'yitalal, Shemere Kudesha, Berechu, Leila, Minko Berchata, V'shirata, Tush Bechata, V'nechamata, Damira Me'alma, V'meru. Amen.
let us please continue praying the Amidah silently. We remain standing, beginning on page 47. It's a little hot in here, right?
A little bit.
Okay. It's okay. We'll endure.
For those of you still praying your Amidah, please continue to do so. The rest of us may be seated. We'll continue on page 51 with Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. בטוב בנך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
May the one who creates peace on high bring peace to us and to all Israel and to all who dwell on earth. And let us say, Amen.
Oh, say shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oh, say shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
Kaddish Shalem is on page 54.
יתגדל ויגרשם מרבה, ועמד יברק ירוצה וימלך מלכותי בחייכוני ומכוני וחי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ומרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעל מעלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר וירמם וינשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקדושה, בריחו לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן מעלמה ואמרו, אמן. תתקבל צלות ההונה ואותהון לכל ישראל, קודמה והונה ושמיה ואמרו, אמן. יהי שלום הרב מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו, amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Perhaps the reason it's a little warm in here is because my heart is filled with the warmth of seeing so many of you in the sanctuary tonight, even our friends on Zoom. It feels like, after seeing everyone here, it feels like a tiny bit of normalcy is about to happen, and I can see the hope and the light at the end of the tunnel. So you guys really know how to make a rabbi feel special. Thank you so much for being here. It's wonderful to spend Shabbat with you. The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of other things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax, of cabbages and kings, and why the sea is boiling hot, and whether pigs have wings. Kalu kale, no work today. We're cabbages and kings. This is one of my favorite poems, or I guess I should say a segment of one of my favorite poems. It comes from, of course, Lewis Carroll's poem, The Walrus and the Carpenter, which first appeared in his book Through the Looking Glass. But many of us know this poem from the Walt Disney animated film, Alice in Wonderland. Alice first hears this poem as it is being told by Tweedledee and Tweedledum. The poem describes how the walrus and his accomplice, the carpenter, are walking along the beach one afternoon, and they begin to get hungry. So rather than working to get some food or to buy some food, they venture into the ocean and convince a bed of baby oysters to leave the comfort of their warm, watery home and to come take a stroll with them on the beach. Now, of course, their plan is to eat the baby oysters, and the oyster's mother pleads with her children not to leave the seabed. But then the walrus leads into his kind of meaningless sales pitch. The time has come, my oyster friends, to talk of other things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax, of cabbages and kings, and why the sea is boiling hot, and whether fish have wings. Kalu kale, let's walk today. We're cabbages and kings. Now, several times in writing this sermon, I had the pleasure of reading this little vignette from the poem, and I have to admit, I like it. I think it's whimsical, I think it's cute, but it doesn't really mean anything. In fact, according to literary critics, the works contained in Through the Looking Glass and Alice in Wonderland, they are called, apparently this is a technical term, nonsense literature, which means it doesn't really mean much. So it begs the question, how does the oysters, why do they come out of their watery home to follow the walrus if what he's saying is in fact meaningless? Well, it turns out that audiences are quite susceptible to meaningless phrases. Let me give you an example. According to Honda, one of their most popular advertising slogans of the 20th century was, "Our cars are made for driving." What does that mean? Excuse me, Honda, aren't all cars made for driving? According to a recent poll, one of the most common phrases in the American vernacular is, "It is what it is." What does that mean? It is what it is. I still don't understand that. When I was a kid, my dad used to have this big vinyl record, and on the sleeve it said in big, bright letters, "Hey, hey, we're the Monkees." And my dad used to put it on his turntable, and one of the songs I really enjoyed listening to as a kid was "Cheer Up, Sleepy Jean, oh, what can it mean to a daydream believer and anyone? Nice. Thank you. Okay. So years later, this song comes on the radio, and I'm humming along, and I realize these lyrics are pretty weird. What does that mean? So I got home and I looked this up. The guy who wrote this song, his name was John Stewart, and he is quoted as saying that he doesn't know what the song or the lyrics are about. And then he is quoted as saying, "I never thought it was one of my best songs, not at all." Sometimes we as human beings, we feel the need to say something to fill a space or stop the awkward silence, so we usually say something inappropriate. This happens frequently at funerals because people don't know what to say. So unfortunately, in my line of work, I sometimes attend a lot of funerals. I was at a funeral with one of my teachers. Her mother had passed away. She was my teacher at rabbinical school, and we were at her mother's funeral. We had literally just lowered the casket with her mother into the ground. My teacher's very upset. She's crying. People are coming up to her, trying to offer their condolences. And then there's this one guy that approached her, and he was obviously trying to come up with something important or poignant to say, but all he could really say was, "Well, other than that, how are you doing?" Ouch. She wasn't doing well. Why do people say nonsense things? And more importantly, why do we listen and tolerate and support people saying nonsense things? I was looking at our Torah portion for the week, Ki Tisa, and I noticed something that I haven't noticed before. Of course, we all know that because Moses took so long in coming down from the mountain after he received the Ten Commandments from God, his brother Aaron instructed everyone to take off their golden jewelry so he could melt the gold into a golden calf, fashion a golden calf. But it's the verse immediately after this that he says something that is so striking, and I hadn't noticed it before. This is what he says. It says, "When Aaron saw this, the golden calf, he built an altar before it, and Aaron announced, 'Tomorrow shall be a festival to Adonai.'" This is an unusual thing to say. Why would you announce in front of the idol that you just made that tomorrow you would throw a feast for God? The same God who has told you many times not to make idols. Now, sometimes, friends, when I don't understand something, I turn to Chazal, the sages that have preceded me, who have written commentaries on different verses of the Torah. Usually my first go-to guy is Rashi, a French medieval commentator. If he doesn't do it for me, I go to my buddy Ibn Ezra, who's a Spanish medieval commentator, see what they have to say. So I looked at what they had to say on this verse, as well as some of the other rabbis, and mostly they really didn't know what to say. A lot of them kind of make apologetics for Aaron and say that Aaron was sure that Moses would return from the mountain at any point, and if Moses saw that the people were worshiping this golden calf, at least he would be somewhat comforted by the fact that they were feasting to God. Now, I'm not really sure I buy what they say, and you don't have to either. I wonder if Aaron made this announcement similar to the way the walrus made his announcement. Perhaps Aaron said it emphatically in the heat of the moment, and everyone just agreed with it, nodded along with it, kind of just went with it. Because I think, as I have talked about, people can go along with just about anything as long as what is said with a confidence. The point I'd really like to make tonight is an important one. Words matter. What we say matters. What we say to each other matters. Of course, actions speak louder than words. That's certainly true, but words can likewise speak pretty darn loud. In the book of Mishle, Proverbs, it tells us over and over something that Mama probably told you when you were a little boy or a girl. If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. Proverbs 13:3, it says, "Whoever guards his mouth preserves life, but he who opens wide his lips comes to ruin." Another verse, "Even a fool who keeps silent is considered wise. When he closes his lips, he's deemed intelligent." Yet another verse, "Whoever restrains his words has knowledge, and he who has a cool spirit is a person of understanding." I could go on and on and on. I don't think it gave Aaron a lot of credit to announce a feast to God literally after he had just built an idol. Perhaps the first thing out of Aaron's mouth should have been words of regret, words of sincerity, or words of repentance. We can listen to people who are like the walrus, who say meaningless things, clever things, and sometimes they even say them really well. But my prayer for us this evening is that when we speak with clarity and sincerity. Doing so will truly make us cabbages and kings. Shabbat Shalom. Our tradition speaks of angels flying all over the world to greet people on Friday evening as they celebrate Shabbat. We're going to continue with Shalom Aleichem, which is on page 73. I ask that if you're able to do so, please rise as we sing this together. 73.
Shalom Aleichem, Malchei HaShaarei, Malchei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Borechem l'shalom, Malchei HaShalom, Malchei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malchei HaShalom, Malchei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedkem l'shalom, Malchei HaShalom, Malchei Elyon, Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch.
We're going to remain standing for Kiddush on page 55. I'd like to invite all the children that are with us tonight to please come up to the bima for Kiddush at this time.
David.
Come on, David, Julia. We have to get started at this again at some point. Right? Come on. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu.
Zikaron lema'aseh bereshit,
Ki hu yom tekilah
למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת,
ואותנו
קידשת,
מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך,
באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו.
ברוך אתה אדוני,
ברוך שמו.
מקדש השבת.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ. We continue praying Aleinu, page 56.
עלינו לשבת אדון הכל, ותקדו ליוצר בראשית, שעשנו כיהי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו ככם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שיהיה נוטה שמיים ועושה הארץ ושש וקבל השמיים. אוקיי, נקבל לך אלוהים. ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, Ushemo echad.
Let us please be seated. We're going to continue with the prayer for healing on page 173. The Debbie Friedman Mishaberach asking for healing for all those in our world who need physical and spiritual completion. Top left of the page.
Mishaberach avoteinu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Following is a list of yortzites, a temple at Shalom for next week. We remember our loved ones with love, and we hope that they're forever present in our lives. Esther Abrams, Shirley Barsky, Milton Belzer, Michael Berger, Jacob Meyer Buck, Eva Kolodny, Max Denker, Dora Dubov, Eva Edison, Jack Annes Formes, Michael Furman, Lillian Garber, Martha Garfinkel, Hyman Genzer, Simon Glazer, Natalie Goldstein, Beatrice Gostinsky, Ave Greenberg, Joseph Hoffman, Marilyn Cove, Dresna Kretschmer, Ann Kronberg, Aaron Kronberg, Myron Colwyn, Tony Muniz, Ryan Itstadt, Minnie Orenstein, Ernest Pekowski, Molly Pollin, Maury Pauls, Horace Riener, Helen Serlin, Isidore Stern, Philip Weinstein, Alfred Wiseman, Lena Fischer-Zinoff, Sophia Mildred Zucker. We're also observing Shloshim for David Davidson, Larry Sachs, Margaret Offek, and Ira Rosenmertz. Mourners and those serving yortzeit, please rise. The mourner's kaddish is on page 58.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divra kirute ve'amlich malchute. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv ve'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam alalmei almaya. Yit barak v'yish tabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh. V'yit hadar v'yit aleh v'yit halal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela minko berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma ve'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. Osei shalom imromav, hu ya'asei shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru.
Amen. Please be seated. I'd like to call upon Jared Finkelstein, President of our Board of Directors, for the announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to all of you here in the sanctuary as well as online. It is truly wonderful to see all of you here. For the first time that I can recall over the last year, there are so many more people here in person than are on Zoom. And just thinking back over the year where basically we had an empty sanctuary last spring and summer, it is wonderful to really see you all here. So thank you for being here. And Similar to some of the athletes who had been, playing without a live crowd, I think our clergy, I sense a little more spring in their step tonight, as they've, I think, really embraced seeing everyone. So welcome and keep coming back. It is wonderful. So you can join us tomorrow at 9 a.m. for Shabbat morning services. Again, both online and here live on campus. This Sunday, our virtual doors will open at 5:30 p.m. for the TBS Sunday Fun Day Comedy Night, which starts at 6 p.m. I don't believe you can buy ads anymore because that loop has been prepared, but you may be able to still buy tickets online. The live auction is there and will close at midnight on Sunday. There are some wonderful items that you can bid on, such as dinner at the rabbi's, a reserved parking space out here, and many other wonderful items. So staycations, some vacations. So please participate in that. It's our big fundraiser for the year since we can't do a gala. So I urge you to please support TBS through participating there. Other things coming up, we are again going to be doing kosher Seder takeout, Passover to go. It's catered by our wonderful chef, Christine. You can find the order form online. Many items sold out last year, so please get your orders in early. The pickup date for that is on Friday, March 26th, starting at 9 o'clock. But the last day to order is March 19th. Also, the Men's Club is returning for their second annual High Roller Poker Tournament. It's going to be April 11th, so it's wonderful to see the Men's Club coming back and preparing programming. The event will be held over at Chinglish over in Boca Park. Again, it was a wonderful event the first year, so I urge everyone to support the Men's Club and the shul by participating in that. We also, registration is open for our early childhood program for next year. So if you know of any youngsters who are of that age, registration is filling up, so please have them do that. Our adult education offering for this week is Radical Torah on Monday at noon, and it's offered online. And if you know of a temple member who's in the hospital, ill at home, or in a nursing home, please contact the temple office to let us know. Shabbat Shalom.
We're going to conclude our service on page 211 with Adon Olam, followed by our special blessing.
אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יצא נברא ונשא והפסו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא ואחרי ככלות הכל לבדו ימלוך נורא והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה והוא אחד ואין שני להמשיך תקליט ולא העוז והמצווה והוא אלי וחי גואלי בצור חבלי בצרה והוא ניסי ומנוס לי ונקוסי ביום אקרא בידו הפקיד רוחי והייתי שן להעירה ועם רוחי גבייתי אדוני לי
We end services here at Temple Beth Sholom by offering a blessing to one another. So if you're around somebody who you came with, please put your arm around them. If you're not around someone, we're sending love and blessing to wherever you may be, even at home. Yivarechecha is on page 75.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך
Adonai Oslemo iten, Adonai Yavarech et Amo Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Mevorach. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9.
Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam, salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, shalom, salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, shalom. Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu, Odevo shalom aleinu.